Freedom
New
Council.
Birth Freedom Council, yeah.
I grew up in that council, but it wasn't called that, it was called Keystone. They're
That's right.
always changing stuff. It's like
Yeah.
Lowe's, where are the wrenches? But anyways, that council in Cumberland County is where I grew up in scouting. The troop that I was in is still there. In my opinion, one of the really good troops because they have their own scout house that we built.
That's right.
Not many troops that have that anymore, and they don't have to bounce around from church to church and fire company, and they've been there for, well,
Yeah,
probably 40 years.
that's right.
Anyways, so he's the executive director, district director, I guess you call it, from that council. He also brought with him Nicole, who is the PA Dutch Council district executive. So we're very blessed to have both of them here covering the whole Boy Scout area or all around us. I'll just give a bio on Sal here. Sal's been a scouting professional for 9 years. He currently serves over 1,800 youth in most of Cumberland County and parts of York County, as well as urban programs in York, Harrisburg, and Steelton. He has previously served in the PA Dutch Council, which is located in Lancaster County. As a scouting professional, he is involved in fundraising, youth membership recruitment, adult volunteer recruitment, and community service programs such as Scouting for Food, Shelter, and blood drives. Sal was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, where his parents were ministers. Sal has served on several boards, including SACA of Lancaster, CASA of Lancaster, and Mechanicsburg North Rotary Club. Sal lives in Lidditz with his beautiful wife. You wrote that.
That's right.
Beautiful wife.
That's right.
Wasn't
It's
me.
being taped.
And his beautiful wife, Amy, of 28 years, and 3 adult children, Rebecca, Amanda, and Seth. Welcome, Sal.
Thank you, Glenn. Remind me never to talk about COVID again to Glenn in any capacity. But it is a pleasure to be here once again. It's been about a little over 5 years, almost 6 years since I've had the pleasure of being here at the Elizabethtown Rotary Club. Dennis and so many other awesome people have always been welcoming to me. I'm really glad to have Nicole here with me because she is boots on the ground here in your town. So looking forward to, and she'll be coming up in a few moments to talk a little bit about PA Dutch. So, you know, a big part of what we, Glenn was talking about in the New Birth to Freedom Council. So Keystone Area Council consisted of Cumberland County, Dauphin, and Perry, and parts of Franklin. And then in 2010, York Adams Council merged and became the New Birth to Freedom Council. So we serve 6 counties, and so we have a large, very large area that we cover. So also you see on the screen Scouts BSA. So does everybody know what KFC means?
Yeah.
Bring it up. That's yes. Kentucky Fried Chicken. So what happens is that when we went ahead and as an organization and began to have Scouts, not only boys but girls, you know, we couldn't just always call it Boy Scouts of America. So we've now become Scouts BSA. So the BSA is a well-known acronym, right? So that's why we keep that. But with Scouts for the whole family. So that's our goal with that. But just to give you there's some stats, and we'll get into that in a moment. But the truth is this: is that we are moving forward. We are feeling confident as an organization moving forward, no matter what is going on in the world. That we have if not the best outdoor program in the United States. And what we'd like to do is to continue to give opportunities for all children in our footprint to be able to give them the best outdoor experience. But the great thing about that, as you see on my shirt, we do a lot of STEM programs. So we cover it all, not only outdoor but indoor programs. So there's no excuse. So if you have a kid that loves the birds and nature, great, we have something for them. If they like to be in front of a computer every day, we have something for them too. If they, we don't have any that just want to sleep all day, but for the most part, we have everything you need under the sun in our scouting program. And as many of you know, the Scouting program, our goal is to make the best citizens that we can for our great country. And for us to be able to be people of character, to be people of just faith, and also people that give back to their community. One of our motto is be prepared, right? So for us, we are always looking to continue to have our scouts be ready in all circumstances, whether it's in heroism or just helping out their family. That's the best thing that we can try to teach them going forward. So the first thing I want to do also is recognize any scouts here in the room. And we know Glenn was a scout and also as a leader. If you're in scouting and you have a moment to stand up, if you could stand up if you were in scouting at any time in your life. All right, guys, right? Girl Scouts do this, right? There we go. All right, let's give them a hand. Awesome. Once a scout, always a scout, right? So, and those skills stay with us. I just celebrated my 40th year in scouting. I started as an 11-year-old in the Police Athletic League troop in Brooklyn, New York. My dad brought a flyer home from the New York Post and said, "Do you want to join scouting?" I said, "Dad, what's that?" I said, "No, he said, this is a great program. I think you'll love it." The former detective of the New York Police Department was our scoutmaster, and was a nice grizzly old Irish man. He made an imprint on my life for the rest of my life, honestly. So it was great, tough, but at the same time, he cared. He gave a hoot, and that was all that matters. So here are some statistics on scouting that we just want to let you know about. So we serve a great number of families throughout our footprint here in the United States, and also we also have a transatlantic district which covers approximately 13 European countries as well, with our military installations, Germany and Belgium and throughout, and of course all in all different parts of the world. So here in the United States, we serve more than 2.2 million youth, and we are blessed to have more than 800,000 volunteers working on those local levels. We began in 1910, so we're up to 113 years as an organization, and we've had 130 million young men and women participate in our youth programs throughout the years. So of course our foundation is the Scouts and Law. So if you ever see Scouts doing this is our Scout sign, and we go through it. Right now I oversee our after school programs in York and Harrisburg, and we just had our first camp out with some of those kids up at Hidden Valley Scout Reservation, and they have the uniform on and doing the Scout sign, and like all 12 of them that were there, when I say any volunteers that say the Scout with the Law, bum rush me, we want to do it and all this kind of stuff, and the great thing is that there's a lot of enthusiasm when it comes to wanting to make that oath, to make that pledge, to understand the mission of scouting, which is, hey, it's a lot of fun, it's a great way for it to get kids off the street and keep them focused on greater things in life. All right. So, just to give you a perspective, these are when our funding comes in, these are the ways that we have our things doled out. So, for the most part, what we try to do is make sure that a great portion of our funding goes back into the program. So, as you see there, almost 88% of our funds that come in through different channels, whether it's United Way or through great folks like yourself, that we put it back into the program. As you see, we put a lot of them into our camping facilities, and I think that I know that the PA Dutch Council also does the same. A lot of the funding that goes into their office goes right back out into the program areas to be able to provide the best programming possible for our youth. All right, so just talk a little bit about New Birth Freedom Council. So those are the counties that we serve, 42 school districts. including Cumberland Valley, Mechanicsburg, and East Pennsboro, my areas, there you go. We serve over 6,000 youth, about 1,200 volunteers, after-school programs in Harrisburg, York, and Stilton. We'll come back to that we'll come back to that, but how do we serve? So through Eagle Scout projects, these projects allow the Scout to use their leadership skills to accomplish community-minded projects. So if you know anything about Eagle Scout projects, it's not, oh, the Scoutmaster gives you the project and you do it. No, the Scout themselves is taught through their time and rank advancement, from Scout rank all the way to life, to begin to get the skills, to be able to go out in the community and speak to the Chamber of Commerce, or speak to a local business owner, or speak to maybe Glenn and say, Glenn, is there a project in your organization that I can do an Eagle Scout project? They recruit the leadership, they manage the leadership, they manage their budget, and it teaches them so many things about life today where, you know what, you gotta make your way, you gotta make your own way. And that's what we instill in all of our Scouts, that they have to do their best to be able to go forward and make an impression in life. So there are other ways to, to Scouting units participate in community service projects, such as Scouting for Food, Shelter Drive, blood drives, conservation drives, and at our camps and in the community. So, we have adopted school programs, we have adopted road programs, like I know a lot of Rotary clubs do, and clean up and those kind of things. So we do a lot of the same similar items. Also, we provide STEM, exploring, and leadership programs to all youth in our community. So we have things like National Youth Leadership Training, and MLT for our 14 and above year olds, where they get real life skills on how to lead other youth and other adults. And it's a great program. Our exploring program is more, what we say, for those of you not familiar, it's a way for us to give youth insight into potential careers for themselves. Whether it be in any industry, our exploring programs allow for them to be able to get a snapshot of potential career for themselves. So I think that's a big part of it. So one of the things that I did want to highlight is what our council did during the pandemic. And when Nicole comes up, she'll also explain what PA Dutch did during that time. And of course, for all of us, it was a difficult period. And now we're about 3 years out since the pandemic hit, and so many things changed. But we created a virtual hub for our scouting families to continue scouting. So we didn't stop. We didn't say, hey, the whole world stopped, we're stopping. No, we're continuing forward. This hub produced over 1,600 merit badges earned and more than 200 service projects completed in all 6 of our counties. We also held 6 weeks of virtual summer camp for over 600 scouts in 18 states. So that means that other kids from all over the United States and also our military families, they logged into our Zoom virtual summer camps and had a blast. Camped out in their backyards and things of that nature, and took pictures and sent them in to us. It was awesome. So I even myself did 2 virtual merit badge courses, and I had a kid from Belgium chime in on my Zoom. So he was at 3 in the morning, and then I'm at 9 in the morning. So it was kind of cool to see him, doing this, and his mom in the background with the coffee. So it was kind of cool. So lastly, we provided every scouting family with safety program series for best practices during the pandemic. So for us, we understood that there was a pandemic going on, but we also understood that not just for the survival of our program, but for the betterment of our scouts and our scouting families, that we had to come up with as many portals or different ways for them to continue scouting and continue to go forward and what have you. So we did not go down in the Eagle Scouts. We did not go down in the number of kids that were continuing to advance. Unfortunately, we did go down in membership significantly over that time period. So we're down a good amount, about 40% in our council from the end of 2019. But we're looking to go back up. and we're making our way, and we're doing that little by little, incrementally. So for us, the scouting program is a way of life, and we appreciate clubs like Elizabethtown Rotary Club and so many others that they continue to support our scouting program. I am also a Rotarian, for those of you that don't know. Just a little bit about me. So I belong to the Mechanicsburg North Rotary Club. I attend the PM meeting when I can now, with all the different things, and I've been in that club for 6 years, and then I was previously for almost 3 years in the Lancaster Sunrise Club, that meets down, I believe is Bent Creek. They've been down there now, and they got fancy. They went from the Lancaster Country Club, moved up. So then you got can I come in? And it's kind of that kind of thing, but all great folks and stuff, and I've enjoyed all my time as a Rotarian, and scouting provided me that opportunity. Before that, I knew about Rotary, but until I became a scouting professional, Rotary wasn't on my radar. So that's another reason why I love the profession of scouting, because it introduced me to the Rotary life, and I won't change it for anyone else. So I really am grateful for the scouting program and Rotary and all that we do. So thank you for all you do for the community. We appreciate it. So I'd like to have Nicole Welch come up, and she's going to give a few words on PA Dutch, and then we'll open it for questions.
All right. Well, like Sal, Pennsylvania Dutch Council covers a geographic territory, and we are in charge of Lancaster and Lebanon counties. Our council is divided into 2 districts, and I am the person in charge of all of Lebanon County and 12 school districts in northern Lancaster County. Throughout that area, we've got about 63 different scout units, so there's a lot more scouting than you think. But we have 22 school districts within our council. Donville, Elizabethtown, and Manheim Central are 3 of the ones that are in my district. We do have currently over 2,000 youth and over 1,500 adult volunteers that help support these youth to make sure that they can do all their dreams. And like Sal said, with the after-school program, the Scout Reach program, we have that as well in Lancaster and Lebanon cities. And Sal didn't share that 2 of his 3 children are actually staff in our Scout Reach Lancaster program. So the family of scouting means a little bit more to Sal than some.
There you go. Family business.
Yes. Thank you. All right. We also do the same kind of things that through the Eagle Projects, the STEM programs, and everything else. And since Sal had his about what they did during the pandemic, I included some of the things we did. The Summer Camp in a Box program for Cub Scouts was really kind of cool. Once a week, we shipped them a box of supplies for them to do activities, as well as had some online videos that were done by our camp staff, so that they had people like Ben Wolberg, who goes by Barney. He's our camp director at Camp Mac. They put the program together so that families could continue scouting and have the amazing adventures in the safety of their home for the little guys. We created with troops, we worked with them almost independently so that they could have their own summer camp program. I know that one troop did a week at home where they did a search and rescue scenario and had to warn their police department that the people walking around the neighborhood were not lost, actually, it was a mock scenario. We had another one that learned how to tie all sorts of things and created their own seats using pioneering skills. And yeah, just had a whole bunch of fun with those kinds of things. We did try a virtual winter camp, which was a little more challenging to have the Cubs, because they're not allowed to stay overnight once it hits a certain degree below a certain
Below
degree.
0.
Oh, it's not even below 0.
below the cold line of 32
Yes.
degrees, yeah.
Oh, it's warmer than that.
Yeah, 40, I think. Yeah.
But, so we've created a couple of different things like that. The Klondike, we had 2 different in-person Klondikes as well as a virtual one. so that if you weren't comfortable coming out, you could participate and still have the crazy winter adventures for the older scouts. Our fall events, we actually did host in-person fall events safely with no COVID outbreaks from them, following all state guidelines and everything else. And because we usually have a first-year program at every summer camp for those that have just joined or just crossed over from Cub Scouts, we were able to take that program and add that as an option to our fall events so that those who missed out on it didn't fall behind in their advancement programs. And the last one that I have up here is about our virtual race. I'm kind of happy or proud about this. Our council partnered with another nonprofit, and in 2020, when all the schools were shutting down, we worked with Power Packs Project. We hosted this race so that anybody anywhere could participate, and we actually had a scout from Japan that joined us, so it went global. And we helped raise money for Power Packs Project that year to feed the children that would not necessarily be able to have full meals. And since then, we've worked with 3 other groups. Yep. You all have probably visited or at least seen about Raven Ridge since they're very local to here. That was our partner last year. Wolf Sanctuary was our partner in 2021. We partnered with them because they lost most of their funding because of the not having the ability to host the tours during COVID time with the shutdowns. So all of those things, we gave half the proceeds of every race to the partner each year and helped them to continue their efforts. All right.
All right. So if you have any questions for either one of us, you're more than welcome to shout it out.